as their guys get set to match up between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Atlanta Falcons. The first 2 months of the regular season down. What will the final two bring us as we're off in Week 9? That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line.
Play action. Fields. Oh, he's going to take a shot right away. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
Watch twist. Watch twist.
Miles Sanders, first carry of the game. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here, up to the 34.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
But just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. From the gun, Fields. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. He's picked off at his own 46. And they take over. They'll set up shop at the 46-yard line.
CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And they'll wind up getting this to the 37, gain of 9. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Nice rhythm throw there on first down. He located his tight end, made it a nice easy pitch and catch.
Hoping he can break a tackle or two. Wasn't able to do that there, but still good yardage.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Off the play fake. Kendrick lets it fly for Thielen.
And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
A lot of contact there, but there was no way it appeared that he was going to get a flag on that one. Looking for it, but he wasn't going to get it. And as an ex-defensive back, you love it when they let you play and jostle downfield.
That's going to be a long day.
You draw quarter.
Lucky, get it.
From the gun on 3rd down. Kendrick, it's caught. Jones. And he's able to get it to the 33. Good enough for a first down. The 5 yards on the play there as the drive will continue. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33.
Watch the run. Watch the run. It's soft, baby. That's baby soft. Patch it. 51's the mic. 51's the mic.
X3. 218. Chopper.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll go down at the 26 following a gain of 6. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
And he is into the end zone for a Falcon touchdown. A great effort there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point up and good by Bailey. And it's now a 7-0 game.
kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And all that worked, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 the score as they start 1st and 10. They're going to get 9 here on 1st down as he gets this one up to the 34-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
To throw on 2nd down. Fields nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Man, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
To throw on 3rd down. Fields. And that is incomplete. That makes them now 0 for 2 here in the 1st quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. This is brought in at the 21. That'll wind up being a 50-yard punt, though they do get 10 back on the return. And the Falcons will be taking over 1st and 10. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And coming up on their 2nd drive of the game, had the touchdown last time out. Now they have the football back. Chance to really seize early momentum.
Feels to me like they had a really excellent week of practice. It all came together, and I'll bet you it got galvanized in the locker room and pregame. Somehow I think the head coach, his oratorical skills were on point.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And across the midfield stripe into Eagle territory. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Getting the sense, Charles, are going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
There goes a deep ball, end zone, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 44, the 20, 10, 5, and he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. Those free safeties, they get to sit back there if they've got good pass rushers like this team does. Read like a book. He read it like a book and took it in for 6.
And if they use their eyes well and their anticipation skills, they can make big plays, just as what we saw, a free safety's dream. Follow the football, go to it, and take it the other way.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And following the pick-6, and they have decent field position in throwing that pick-6. We'll see how they attack this drive.
And I think all you say to your guy is, listen, let's just take care of the football a little bit better. Make some better decisions on this drive, and they'll probably help him a little bit with maybe some really high percentage throws early to let him get settled back in.
They told us they've got confidence. That's not a problem.
Yeah, not a problem at all. They just want to make sure they get things settled down a little bit for their offense and give their defense a little bit of a chance to rest.
Looking to throw. Kendrick. And some space here. There he goes left side. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Eagles defense gets a pick-6 TD. So now 2 pick-6s that he's thrown in this first half of play. Where do you go from here?
But number one, make sure you keep your poise. Make sure you go to the sideline after throwing this second one, and you look like you're still in charge, that you're still the guy, because your team's going to feed off of you. And if you're having your hands on your head or shaking your head and walking with your head down, guess what? They're not going to rally at all.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to the 22-yard line.
Got it.
The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive.
I'm here all day.
Throwing after the interception. Kendrick. And he will find his man on the outside. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. The end result, 21 yards. One play has him up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Back to throw. Kendrick. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up 2nd down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls, and you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a 3rd interception in half number 1.
Get it.
On 2nd down, Swift looking for a seam but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. Call it no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down. The Eagles call on the extra defensive back here as they prepare for a stop on 3rd down.
Watch the curl.
Operating from the gun, Kendrick. And he took the contact as he was throwing it, and the ball drops incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
Returnable for Grant. 21 yards. Well done on the return. And the Eagles will have it taking over 1st and 10. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10.
Hey, that QB's trash. Let's go. Kill. Hey, turn it up. Switch.
Running right, here's Sanders. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. Through 1 quarter, 14-7 our score.
Here's the party now. Watch out. Right 52. Let's go, D.
Off play action. Fields. Escaping the pressure right. He may try and run for this. And he'll be stopped here well short of the 1st down at the 24-yard line. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th. On is the punt team now as this one's sent away. This is fielded at the 27. Call that 49 yards on the punt. They do get 7 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate.
And I think he's going to go. They're not going to get him. 20. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. With touchdown number 2 in the game and now 11 on the year. As they are an extra point away now from tying this football game. Bailey got the extra point. And we've got a tie game here in a back-and-forth first half. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10.
Undercrush, undercrush, undercrush. Bang, 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 bang.
And that'll be knocked away. It's incomplete.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Oh, a ball batted in the air, and now it's intercepted. Picked off at the 28.
Offensively, when you see cover 2, the thought has to go through the quarterback's head. Drive the football when making throws. It's not just the deep guys covering. It's the guys underneath you have to be careful of. Drive your throw. Otherwise, you see what results? Interceptions.
On first down, Swift. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Looking to throw on 2nd down. Kendrick. And his throw's going to be incomplete. The Pro Bowl wideout Julio Jones is intended receiver. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. The Falcons on 3rd down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Now on 3rd down, that pass knocked down in the backfield and incomplete. So it doesn't look like they're going to be able to build off the turnover.
Well, the defense certainly did its part to get them the football. But you're exactly right. It looks like they're going to have to punt this one away. And it's not a turnover, but doesn't it feel like one after grabbing the momentum with the defensive play?
Yeah, and they had all that momentum after getting the football and now zapped right back in the other direction. And he gets it away. A directional kick going toward the sideline.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And 2 interceptions thrown here in this first half. You hear it, no matter the sport, they say that great athletes, they can kind of have a short-term memory, but that's easier said than done.
It is easier said than done, but I played with a guy who threw 2 interceptions in the first quarter of a really big game we were playing.
Johnny Unitas?
And no, not quite of that level and not of that age. But I remember
I was going for the age.
I remember looking over at him, and he was smiling. And I thought, what is he smiling about? It's because he had enough confidence in himself that that was a fluke. And he went out and played pretty well the rest of the day.
To throw on 2nd down, Fields. In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Grady Jarrett making his presence felt. He gets the sack. Throwing on 3rd and long. Fields. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against a zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation, and there the defense won the battle. That's pulled in at the 32. A very nice job on the run back there. He'll get 23 yards all told. And the Falcons are set up well to begin their drive as it'll begin in enemy territory already.
60 or.
You can't block me. You can't block me. Watch the edge.
6-6. Bullet high.
Kill, kill, kill. Kill, kill.
Hey, Charlie.
Go, Mike 51, Mike 51.
22 jet bomber, 22 jet bomber.
Hey, let's go.
Hit it.
On 1st and 10, Kendrick. And it's going to be incomplete.
I would say it'd probably be a good idea for him to reintroduce himself to his receivers at the half because they're definitely on different wavelengths. But I also don't advocate waiting that long. Next series, before you get out there, hey, let's get together, guys. Let's get this thing moving.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. He's going to look deep down the field. This is caught. Touchdown, Falcons. A big play there. His 4th touchdown on the year as his guys are able to regain the lead. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This is fielded a couple yards deep. Then he breaks it all the way out to the 38-yard line. Great return.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 38-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Throwing on 1st down. Fields. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. Got out of the pocket. Didn't look like he had anybody open, Charles, so just gets rid of it.
And a good play by him. If no one's open and you don't have a running lane that you want to take, make the right choice. Get rid of it. Live to fight another down.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10.
Let's go, let's go. Slam, slam, slam. Kill, kill. Turn it up. Kill, kill, kill. Turn it up. 45's the mic. I'm coming after you. I'm coming after you. Match box. Right. Check, check, check. Check, check.
Throwing again. Fields. They'll tussle for it, and this is going to be caught. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 17 yards and a 1st down for Philly.
Right there. 54 Mike. Rabbit, rabbit. Rabbit, rabbit.
On 1st down, Fields. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack.
I'm starting to feel for that quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football game. And that'll hurt the average a bit as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Off the play fake. Fields. And that will be incomplete. Not much going on this drive. Looks like they're going to have to punt it away, CD.
And right now, I know a lot of their fans are screaming for the OC to change things up, get away from what he's been calling. Sometimes you just need better execution of the plays that have been called.
And the punt team on now as this one's sent away. And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
The catch and run there, good for 16 and a first.
Let's go, baby.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Now this throw caught left side. Touchdown, Falcons! Isaiah McKenzie, his first touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to show off their quick strike ability. As a former DB, you might not like to see that, but from a wide receiver's perspective, those are the plays they dream of.
Correct on both counts, all right? Because once he took off, I mean, let's face it, that should have been done in Big Sky Country. Aren't any speed limits out there? And off he went. Glad I wasn't the one trying to chase him.
This is fielded a couple yards deep.
I got you, boy. I got you,
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
The Eagles offense sent to begin their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wind up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on first down. It's a second down run with Sanders. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. Now the Eagles will use the second of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Looking to throw. Fields. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. In for the score, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. You're under a minute to go here in the half. Field position not really in your favor, but still time to try and move the ball and get in field goal range.
Yeah, you got the lead. It's definitely a thought. Let's go ahead and try and increase it. But at the same time, I don't like the odds. I don't like where they are in the field. Got the lead. They've done well in the first half. Don't mess it up and go into halftime looking at each other wondering what if.
This complete to Jones. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9.
We own them. We own them. Check that.
Now a give right side. Swift. He's got a first down and then some at midfield. He chucks him aside.
Dumped him.
And down to the 7-yard line. And they'll burn the timeout with 5 seconds left. A chance to try to add 3 points before heading to the locker room. So even though it's first down, here's the field goal unit on now to try to get 3 before halftime. From the right hash pass here should be an easy one. And the 11-year veteran bangs it through. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So a capper there to a pretty good first half.
And I love the way that they put a chokehold on the clock and pretty much drained everything before they put the field goal on the board as they headed into the half.
Now after the field goal, Bailey will kick it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 26-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we...
And that's caught inside the 35. And he'll take it into the end zone. Touchdown, Atlanta. A big play there. His third touchdown now on the year. And the Falcons push further out in front. Always important to get the first score of the second half. Now you start to pull away a little bit and get some breathing room going.
And now we find out about the fortitude of the group that's behind, because they were counting on getting into the game a little bit more, right? Maybe they get the first score. That doesn't happen. It looks almost insurmountable, but it's not. Let's see how hard they play the rest of the game.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line.
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 31-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. And their halftime hole now even deeper. And they need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
Yeah. You don't want none. Check 3. Chance. Check safety. High seven. Where's 52?
Looking to throw on second down. Fields. He's going to find Gallup here complete. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Michael Gallup, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Eagles make some inroads here on that deficit. Tucker with the extra point, and that will shave one more off this lead. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They were able to extend their lead with an opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter, but that just got matched a moment ago.
So we know that what they discussed at the half worked. Now, what are the counters to that, right? You don't just run the same things over and over. Some do, but many will also show something and then come back with something else to keep the defense off balance.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. They'll keep it on the ground. Swift. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
It's now 3rd and 4.
Ready. 70, Indy.
I can't believe they let you play. I can't believe they even let you play. Shift.
On 3rd down, Swift.
Damn, baby.
That one 28 yards on the ground.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So from Philadelphia territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 41. From the gun, Kendrick. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. Operating from the gun, Kendrick. And incomplete.
Yeah, that one sailed on him. You've got to make sure you give your receiver a chance to come down inbounds because they are very gifted. They'll make the circus catches, but if they make them out of bounds, that does you no good.
Ball on the 30 as they come up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
51, Mike, 51. I got you, son. Right here, guys. Fight.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So chalk that down as an 8-play drive capped with a field goal.
Yeah, as a friend of mine used to say, they were moving and grooving for a while, but they couldn't keep the momentum going enough to get a touchdown out of it.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line.
Let's go!
The Eagles take over 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line.
The Eagles offense set to begin their next drive. I guess they have to feel a little gratified to at least get on the board last time, but still work to do.
No doubt about it. I wonder now if they're going to try to increase the urgency a little bit, maybe pump up the pace, maybe go 2-minute. Who knows? Let's see what they decide to do.
They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down.
But if these guys are going to chop into that deficit, they got to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage will be found.
Off play action. Fields forced out to his left. He'll run it. Throw left side complete. That's Grant. A gain there of 30 big ones. Obviously, they're not where they want to be right now on the scoreboard. Big plays like that, though, that'll trend them in the right direction.
Yeah, a few more like that, they'll be right back in the game. And if they can continue to do that, maybe they'll inspire their defense as well and get a few stops.
On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. And, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
It's interesting going into this game. There was so much talk from both sides about who would control the line of scrimmage. I think we've seen who has it in this one so far.
Well, they bottled him up. He's barely averaging over 3 yards a carry right now.
Check the outs, check the outs, check the outs.
They'll go again with Sanders. Trying to turn the corner, but they string him out and stop him at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down.
52. Mike 52, Mike 52. Check.
From the gun, Fields. It's complete to Grant. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 33.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Mike 5-4.
You ain't doing nothing today.
To throw again, Fields. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's third down. So back-to-back incompletions. Third down here in 10, but you're still in field goal range.
And that's the thing to keep in mind. They're in field goal range. So now you don't take any unnecessary risks, but you try and find a way to get back to what you were doing earlier in the drive in order to finish this one off.
On third down, Fields. And that is incomplete. Boy, the numbers throwing the football just not trending in the right direction. Last week he was under 50%. He's under 50% again here.
And we haven't gotten an announcement, but it appears to me that he might be a little dinged up and is just trying to play through. You know, he's one of those tough guys that wants to answer the bell each and every play for his team. That might be throwing off his accuracy.
And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And high fives for that one as that drive ends in 3. These kickers now, it used to be that a 50-plus yarder was cause for celebration. Now seemingly automatic.
Yeah, isn't it funny when we prepare for a game, when you look at the backgrounds of these kickers, it's interesting, isn't it, to find out they were all-state quarterbacks, receivers, defensive backs, all-state wrestlers, right? Baseball players. We're finding athletes all along, and now they're just specialists putting it through the posts.
They'll run on first down. Swift, and he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. It didn't happen on that play.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right.
Go, go.
51's the mic. 51's the mic. I'm coming after you.
To throw on third down, Kendrick. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 14 yards there and a Falcon first down. This quarterback now perfect since the second half started. 7 of 7. It's first and 10. Back to throw. Kendrick. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's second down.
The positioning here is key. As a defensive back, you're taught 99% of the time, make a play on the football. But in this case, making a play on the man was all the difference. That's what forced the incompletion.
Back to throw now on second and 10. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete.
Complete to number 80. That's a gain of
The second down completion got him 7. Now here's third and 3.
Steve 6.
Looking to throw. Kendrick looking deep downfield. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Ronald Darby. So it'll be a change of possession on the turnover when we get back. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
Mike 52, Mike 52.
It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. Yeah, boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
The rush defense stout on first down. Here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Open man is Higgins. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Philadelphia picking up the first on a gain of 15.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Fields. He's going to float this one deep right side. That's caught inside the 20. And he'll take it into the end zone for an Eagles touchdown. A big play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. Tucker able to connect on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. I'm curious to see, Charles, about the play calling on this drive. Last time out, the interception that led to a touchdown. Here we are. I mean, very close, one-score game.
Yeah, and if I'm a defender, I'm actually chirping Chili on the other side of the ball, saying, hey, we picked off the last one. What you going to do about it now? So when you do throw the football, high percentage, but throw it with confidence. If there's any hesitancy at all, it could end up in enemy's hands again.
Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. 2nd and 5. Open here, Adam Thielen. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. 10 yards there and a first down for the Falcons. Tell you what, he's been able to put the ball in some tight spots all game long. That throw, no different.
Yeah, a lot of people would call it a gutsy type of a throw. I think he looks at it as, I can do it, so it's not that big of a deal to me. I'm going to keep firing.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the first.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Now a play fake here on first down. Now look at this. They get the turnover they needed. It's intercepted. Picked off at the 35. And his guys are going to take over at the 39-yard line. Some good games going on in the early window. This might be the best of the bunch. On 1st and 10, Fields. Brought in over the middle by Grant. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. Great way to start the drive. 20 big ones and a first down. Throwing on first down. Fields looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Grant. 5 yards on the catch there. Brings up 2nd down.
At the 35-yard line.
Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down.
Go. Check 43. Be dead.
Shotgun snap, and then the give to Sanders. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense, and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3. This pass complete to Higgins. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 20-yard line. If you're going to blitz, likely going to leave you in man coverage with this guy, and that is less than ideal.
It is, because just about any offense that has an elite receiver, if you blitz and have him in man coverage, you're going to him, even if he has an elite defender on him, because he usually knows where the ball is before the defender does.
First down. It's Sanders, and he's only going to get a yard from the 20 to the 19.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the fourth. So it's Eagle football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. He's back to throw. Got his man there complete to Gallup. And he will be brought down at about the 6-yard line. The Eagle passing game looking good on this drive. It's a first down. Only way to get the lead here, of course, with a touchdown. And that's what they're gunning for on 1st and goal.
Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Hey, hey. Watch the ship. Watch the ship. Watch twist. Watch twist. Watch twist. Twist, twist.
They'll run with Sanders. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. Miles Sanders. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And once again, the Eagles are back out in front. Tucker with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 25-yard line.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They're down here in a one-score game, but the time, it's a factor, but it's not a huge factor right now, is it?
It's really not, because this amount of time gives them a chance to run their offense, to go through play sequences. And this is what they work on every week in practice, usually on a Friday. They go over this type of a situation, late-game situation. What are we going to do when we have the opportunity? They've called these plays a bunch of times. Now's their chance to execute them.
And they have the opportunity now. Here's the execution. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win, because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets them up for 3rd down.
Short gain, last 2 plays. Who do you think's excited about that?
Absolutely, this defense, they're saying go right ahead with those. Back to throw. Flushed out right. And he can't get a throw away. He's taken down.
Come on, Lot. We better not.
A loss of 7. It's 4th down.
Ready up.
The mic, Rock 57. You ain't going nowhere.
Well, Charles, this one's going to be hard to digest. You take the lead into the 4th quarter. lose that lead. Maybe they felt like they let this one slip away a little bit.
They will definitely feel like that because when you have a lead in the fourth quarter, all you talk about doing is finishing and closing a game out. But when you flip it over, how about that? Making the comeback and then finishing the game, sealing it on defense, they will feel jubilant in their locker room.
So for the Eagles, it's a nice win to finish off what's been an ugly first half as they move to 2-6. And they will head back home next week. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they're going to get an extra week to stew over this as they're not back in action until week 11. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.